clients were like, oh my gosh, I saw your bedroom or I saw this and I saw how you did this. And that was the hiring decision for them. That set me apart from another designer they were thinking about calling.
Today, we're talking about the one-room challenge. Is it challenge accepted? We'll see.
Have you hit a wall when it comes to growing your interior design business? Then welcome to Wingnut Social, the podcast specifically designed to accelerate your business through increased social media presence, impactful online content, and translating industry experience into physical success. This is your design business tightly fastened. Now welcome the hosts of Wingnut Social, Darla Powell and Natalie Graff.
Hey there, welcome to the Wingnut Social Podcast. I'm your host, the grand high poobah of all things Wingnut, Darla Skywalker Powell, and I am joined by my soulless ginger co-host, Natalie Jawa Graff.
Ooh, I'm a Jawa. I even know what those are, Darla.
You're a desert scavenger.
That's right, because didn't you see the new little meme that came out, the new Tesla bus, and it had the picture of the Jawa
sandcrawler.
Yeah, sandcrawler. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, the new pickup truck that Tesla has?
Oh my gosh, it was terrible.
You know what? I saw that when they introduced that back in November. Yeah,
they introduced it in November.
And they introduced it, they debuted that, and I was like, this is a joke. I thought it was an Onion article.
Listen, I was actually happy that it came out and it was so fugly because Darla had decided that I was going to get a Tesla truck. She's like, you got to have a Tesla truck. We need a Tesla truck. And I'm like, no, I really don't think so. But then I saw that and she sent me that picture. And I was like, oh no, you got to be kidding me.
We're good.
It solved everything. So problem solved.
I don't know why they went with that body style. It's like Blade Runner. Oh gosh. Okay. So anyway, you guys listening, we're really hoping that you've enjoyed our holiday episodes, the Christmas blooper special, which was near and dear to my heart because that's just how I roll. And I hope you especially enjoyed the crime fighting giraffe. Natalie, are you okay that went out in public?
I'm not easily embarrassed, so that's okay.
That's
don't
a
mind.
very good thing.
I have very broad shoulders, Bring it on.
Natalie insisted on that January 1st episode. That was another Wednesday episode on what we learned from the podcast.
I think it was just a takeaway. Yes. So the episode's not as long as a normal long form on Wednesday, but I thought it was important because Darla always gives me such a hard time about, Natalie, you don't pay attention. Natalie, you got to listen. Natalie. And so you know what? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to show you, Natalie.
Well, one of the best things about doing this podcast with you is the change and the learning I have seen in you. I hear you take calls for Wingnut Social clients and you're discussing your social media and I'm like, oh my God, she does pay attention. So
yeah. So see, I'm not that dumb.
All right. So today is another show, Natalie, that I do hope you pay attention because this show is all about the one room challenge.
I'm not sure I want to pay attention to the one room challenge because I'm afraid of how much work this is going to be for myself.
Work and money, but we're going to find out.
Okay.
And I have to tell you, I have purposefully kept myself in the dark about the one room challenge. I haven't really researched it yet because I personally haven't done it. And I personally haven't shown a tremendous amount of interest in doing it. So the questions I'm going to ask our guest today, Veronica Solomon, are going to be like legit questions that I want to know about. So hopefully that's going to translate to you guys and answer some of the burning and yearning questions in your... Speaking of Veronica Solomon, today's exceptional guest, Natalie, do you know where I first met her in the digital world anyway?
Nope.
Facebook. She has her awesome Facebook business group. It's called What They Don't Teach You in Design School. That's how we first kind of started networking and getting to know each other virtually. And, we've met her at several high points.
We have.
Seen her in passing.
Nice.
She's always so popular. Everybody's grabbing for her attention. So I only get like 1 minute of an audience with her because she's so busy. But she's a lovely woman. And I have to tell you, she is insanely talented. Her one-room challenges lately have been just off the hook. Really, really good. So I want to ask Veronica, besides having people like me out there say she's extremely talented on a worldwide podcast, what are the benefits of doing the one-room challenge? What's the ROI from a one-room challenge, and how has it helped her gain traction in the interior design industry? I know she's been published. I know that she's had a lot of media coverage for that, and I think that plays a big part, but we're going to find out if it's worth it. And I'm going to ask her the Benjamin question.
Ooh.
Yep. We're going to say as a CEO,
have to pay attention and listen, Darla.
You are going to have to pay attention and listen. Yes, that was
Thanks,
that was the last part of
Thank
this.
you.
Because I want you to pay attention and see if it's something that you think that we should do for Darla Powell Interiors.
Well, let's tell our listeners a little bit about Veronica.
All right. Veronica Solomon is the principal designer of Casa Vilora Interiors. Casa Vilora is a multi-award-winning design firm and one of the premier interior design firms in the Katy and Houston area. Veronica founded the company in 2007, and with her design knowledge and expertise has grown the company to the successful and well-sought-after business that it is today. Veronica's work has been featured in several publications and blogs such as Katie Magazine, Houston House and Home, Apartment Therapy, ASID Angle, The Houston Chronicle, Houston Design Resources, Howls, and more. Wingnuts, help me in welcoming Veronica Solomon to the podcast. Hey there, Veronica Solomon. Welcome to the Wingnut Social podcast. How the hell are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing terrific, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about the One Room Challenge because I will be 100% transparent. I don't know a whole hell of a lot about it. But what I do know is that you are killing it. Your designs are stunning, really gorgeous. So I want to dive in and see what it is. What is the One Room Challenge all about? Why are you doing it? What the ROI is from it? And yes, Natalie.
I'm a little concerned about this episode because I really don't know if I want to know about the One Room Challenge because, you know, Darla always does everything that after a guest comes on. And I'm afraid this is like next in our pipeline. And so this makes me really nervous about this podcast.
All Natalie sees are dollar signs.
I know.
Well, it's not a bad thing. You guys might love it. You might get addicted as I am.
And I'm an addictive personality. So tell us a little bit about the One Room Challenge. Off the air, you were telling us about how that's Linda Weinstein's baby. So tell us what you do know. I know you're not like the One Room Challenge expert, although you kind of are in my eyes. Tell us a little bit about it and what it's about, and then we'll dive into the nitty gritty.
The One Room Challenge started in 2011 by Linda Weinstein, and she started it, I guess, as a way, you know, designers are known for not doing their own homes. So she started it as a challenge between her friends. So she brought in a bunch of friends and they were going to, you know, focus on finishing a room in their homes and kind of blog about it over a 6-week period. And from there, just kind of took off as she started inviting brands to join and more people started to join. So it happens twice a year in April and October. And it's just basically a way for you to finish a room in your home. So it can be done by designers or design enthusiasts. So you don't necessarily have to be an interior designer to participate.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was only open to decorators and designers. And it's so funny that it was open to designers or whoever who haven't finished their own homes because I don't know if it was the same way with you, but since Natalie and I have kind of taken this dive into the interior design side, our house has really gone by the wayside. We shot it for the portfolio, and since then it's like, you know, the cobbler's kids have no shoes. We just don't have time
the succulents are dead. We haven't replaced them. We never finished out some of the artwork. We really could use a new sofa. Radar's taken over the one brown chair. That's his chair. And
our dog.
Yeah. So, you know, I know how that goes.
So that's actually a really good idea. Hey, you get a win-win. You can redo the living room and be published on the One Room Challenge. Now, the One Room Challenge, I'm looking at their website right now. It's oneroomchallenge.com. But it's not just them anymore, right? Don't they have like some pretty robust sponsorships?
Oh, yes. Each season, Linda brings in some newer brands to sponsor the event. There is a media partner, which right now it's Better Homes and Gardens, but she also has like some really top brands. And each season you'll see some of the same people, but there are also, you know, different people who want to be a part of it because it really is good for them as well. Having a whole bunch of influencers and bloggers and designers blasting your product and your name out there and how it's being used in a beautiful space is absolutely attractive to them.
Okay, so here comes a money question.
Right out.
So right out the gate, I'm not going to be shy about this. So if they are going to sponsor the event, and let's say because we are not very well educated in this because we haven't dove into this, if you're going to use like certain pillows for your room, do they actually give you those pillows or do you have to buy them at a discounted rate?
With the One Room Challenge itself, there is a group of 20 designers that are chosen as the featured designers. So those are the ones that they go kind of through a different process than the guest participants. So the 20 featured designers, they are the ones who actually get the sponsorship, and you can choose which sponsors you want to do business with. You want to use their products. There are some requirements. You have to do like a minimum of 5 and so on. So there are some requirements there, but you can choose whoever you want to sponsor your room. So it really just applies to the 20. Other people who participate, they're kind of on their own, but if you have, you know, some pull in the industry, you may know a few people, obviously you can reach out to some of your own vendors and get them to sponsor. So the 20 designers designers, once you choose whoever you want to work with, they have their offerings. Basically, they'll tell you this is what we'll give you and this is what you need to do in return. And so if you agree with that and agree with their terms, then you go ahead and you select that sponsor. So it could be free products, it could be heavily discounted products, it could be something up to a certain dollar amount. So it just varies depending on the brand.
And you were a featured designer, weren't you, for October and for April too, weren't you?
Yeah, twice. Yes, I was.
Yes, of course you were, because your work again is stunning. Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. So let's say I'm an interior designer, interior decorator, or just an influencer, someone who wants to get in on this one room challenge. What is the best advice that you have for that designer starting out to get their foot in the door on this? Is there an application process, or is it just, here's my space, please feature me?
Start by being one of the guest participants because, it's Linda's baby. She's been doing it now for many years, and I'm sure she'd love to see that you share some of the vision that she has about it. I'm not saying that's a requirement, but I believe that would help you if you want to be considered as one of the featured designers. And then, of course, there is an application process now. Back then, I just did rooms. I didn't really, hey, I'm going to do a room. I didn't apply for anything. But now there is an application process, and she wants you to kind of register if you're planning to participate in the event.
Okay, so Veronica, so even if you're a guest participant, you have to go through an application process now? Are you aware?
So the guests, they just have to register to let her know that they are participating in the events. But you can apply if you want to be a featured designer.
Oh, okay, I see. So one of the biggest things that I see from the One Room Challenge is the flooding of blog posts. So that there is a sort of a commitment with how many times you have to post and what you're, featuring the before, doing the afters. What is the parameters of that, the blogging, and how does that help an interior designer moving forward?
So in the past, it was just people with blogs. And so you had to blog once a week for the entire 6-week period. As a guest participant, you have to put up your post every Thursday. And the featured designers, they would make sure it's live every Wednesday. So that was a requirement. Now she has it open to people who don't necessarily have a blog, but it could be just your Instagram. So you do stories and just do regular updates. But the point is really to update your audience because it also is beneficial to you in building your audience. So you want to keep them in the loop and you want to kind of get them involved. And so once a week is kind of a requirement to make it worthwhile.
I thought we were safe there for a minute when you said blogging once a week, but then you threw that social media in there and now we're screwed because that's what Darla does. So thanks, Veronica. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
No, but I want to know, would you recommend that a new baby designer, thank you, Luann, for the baby designer.
We have to give Luann $1 every time we use that term.
$1? She's going to up it on us. Watch out. So would you recommend that Luann, baby designer, trying to get their name out there to do a one-room challenge at all?
Absolutely. For me, when I started the One Room Challenge, the first time I did it was back in 2013. I wasn't a baby designer back then. I've never used that term before, but okay, I guess going forward, I'll be using it. But
no, you're not. You aren't a baby. You are not a baby designer.
I'm not. I saw that I wanted to build my audience. I thought I wanted to be a blogger back then. I wanted to be a famous blogger. It didn't quite work out that way. But I really wanted to build my audience and, of course, eventually bring clients in. And for me, it was so beneficial to just be able to share with them the process of creating a space from start to finish. So for me, it was exactly what I needed to really show them the behind the scenes. And this is how design really works. It kind of built me up over these years. So baby designers, absolutely. I believe it's an ideal thing for them to do. First of all, it's a portfolio builder. So I hear a lot of young designers talk about not having a portfolio when, hey, your home is the perfect canvas and the One Room Challenge is a great way to facilitate that. So absolutely.
Did you find that you got clients for Casa Vilora directly from your posts in your rooms in the One Room Challenge? Did people commented and said, yeah, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
So there's real ROI from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our clients were like, oh my gosh, I saw your bedroom or I saw this and I saw how you did this. And that was the hiring decision for them. That set me apart from another designer they were thinking about calling.
And then how did your budget go? I mean, I know maybe when you did the first one, maybe your budget wasn't what it is when you do the next one. So what would a new designer need to plan for budget-wise?
It varies, and it obviously depends on the room that you're doing. But when I first started doing them, I was doing mostly DIY type stuff. So I remember my very first room was the dining room vignette in my little studio that I had before this one. And it was not even professionally photographed afterwards. I called up my workroom lady. She had a new camera and I had her come over and photograph it for me. So I did not even understand what I was doing. I just knew that I wanted to get something done and get some portfolio shots. I was on a really tiny budget. I don't even remember what I spent. I think it was something like $2,000, $3,000 pulling some items together. And then from there, it kind of grew, but I still did a lot of DIY things. Now, I'm spending a little bit more money because I'm at the point of my career where I want my work to show a little bit of luxury. And so, yeah, I'm spending more. But I think it's up to the designer, what you can do with a little bit. It does not have to be a lot of money.
Okay, I have to ask you.
Yeah, I like that.
Because, I shared the hell out of your bedroom one. That was for April, right? The bedroom?
Yes.
Okay, because that's right up my freaking alley with the darks and I just loved it a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, but this bedroom is sticking to the theme of doing your bedroom in your house, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
So let me ask you. Can I ask you? I'm going to ask you this. What was the budget for that?
So when I'm going in this one specifically, I did not go in there and said, hey, this is my budget. This is how much I want to spend. I will tell you that if I was to purchase every single item I did in that room out of my pocket, I would have probably spent about $70,000. But most of it was given to me as far as, being one of the featured designer. But I did spend quite a bit. I spent, I'm not sure if I want to say it on air.
You don't have to.
Just knowing the 70.
So, you spent all that money on your shiny new website, but how do you know it's getting the job done and attracting real-life clients? Are your photos optimized? Are your backlinks bending over backward to work for you? Have you lost the keys to your keywords?
If all of this is making your head spin, don't worry. Wingnut Social's SEO website audit will answer all these questions and more. In fact, here is what you get when you purchase.
2 hours of consulting with an expert.
A crawlability check for broken links.
Site performance.
Metadata checks. Metadata is what helps Google know where to rank your page.
On-page SEO.
Length, messaging, duplicate content, mobile audit headers. There's just so much to learn.
Yeah, keywords and content suggestions.
You'll get a list of keywords for you to target and content suggestions for targeting them.
And of course, those backlink audits to make sure they're going to help you or hurt you.
Are they helping or hurting you? You'll find out by going to wingnutsocial.com/services and just check out the SEO website audit. It is a one-time fee and it's a tremendous value.
Now back to the show.
Okay, so I'm looking at the room right now. I'm in love with it. So the rug was donated, the sofa, the coffee tables. Can I ask?
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess we can say because okay.
So the rug, I own that. So I already had that rug from Mishap. I bought it for a show house I was doing a few years before that, and it was the wrong size or whatever, and so I never ended up using it, so it was in storage. So that worked out. Sofa was donated completely except for the fabric. The labor on it was donated. The bed was heavily discounted. All of the pillows on the bed was donated. The chair in the corner. What else? The light fixture was from Hudson Valley.
Oh, yeah. The sideboards. And were they?
And then I'm getting the cart ahead of the horse a little bit here. But when you get all of these items, obviously you have to keep a pretty massive spreadsheet of who did what so you know who to tag and who to give the proper credit to.
Because you have to, right?
Right? That's part of the deal, right?
Yeah, but Linda keeps that very organized. So when you've been selected to be one of the featured designers, she actually has a spreadsheet specifically for you. And you go in there and you do your updates. You pick whoever you're choosing as your sponsors. Like I said, you can choose who you want. You have to do a minimum. And then you go in there and let's just say I reached out to, let's say, Fabric Cut, and we agreed to the terms and all that. Then I plug that into my spreadsheet, and I know that this is what the requirement is for them. So most of them are going to require similar things. They're going to require that you do stories or you do a static post on Instagram, and of course include them in your blog posts each week, and maybe write a specific paragraph and all that. And they want pictures. They absolutely want your pictures as well. Mm-hmm. So you have to give them rights to using the photographs as well.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about Better Homes and Gardens involvement. Is that something like, would they possibly feature you in their magazine or in some of their other publications? Have you found that to be the case, or what is taken off for you there?
So it's not a guarantee. I know the one thing that they guarantee basically is that the 20 designers who are featured, they will do like a little news report the day of or day after the final, the big reveal. So they definitely do that. Sometimes they'll go beyond that. They did feature my powder room in an issue of Better Homes and Gardens for November, but I don't know if it was directly connected with the fact that I was a featured designer or anything. They did choose me as a featured designer for April. So I don't know if that is why they decided to run my powder room in the November issue. I'm not sure how that worked out,
It
honestly.
didn't hurt. Let's just
It
say
didn't
that.
hurt. Exactly. It didn't hurt.
Okay, so I've started this journey. I'm Sally Designer. Started
No,
this journey.
Susan McNuggets.
Right, Susan McNuggets.
Come on, Darla.
The interior designer. And I've started this journey, and now I'm a guest contributor. I've done all that, and I've done a great job. What would you recommend for me to do to hit that upper echelon and become a featured designer like you have repeatedly and repeatedly?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's a limit to it. I'm not sure what the limit is.
Not for you. Not for you.
She's going to run out of
No, you
rooms in
do.
her house and have to buy another one. Hello.
I would say you definitely want to follow the rules because they're rules and they're in place for a reason. So when you're doing the one room challenge as a guest participant, just be respectful of the fact that it's something that was created and there are things in place that Linda wants to happen, and just to make it fun and fair for everybody. I've heard that some people they start their rooms months and it's like a finished space and they're like, that's not in the spirit of the thing. So just do it each week and keep the progress going and doing it in real time, I think is the best way to do that. So that's the first thing I'd say is just kind of follow the rules, whatever she's specified, and then just apply for it. Just reach out and, let her know that you're interested in being a featured designer. And of course, just have memorable rooms because that's how she noticed me. I mean, I honestly never reached out to her and say, hey, I don't even think I really honestly wanted to be a featured designer because I always worried that there was just so much more involved in that the responsibility was so much greater. And at that point, you can't back out. If something goes wrong, you can't be like, okay, I'm not going to do this. Of course, I was very honored when she chose me. I think that's why she chose me is because I was turning out spaces that were memorable and they stood out. And it was very much in keeping with her dream and her vision because I was doing it the right way. I was doing it in real time and, getting my audience involved, and she could see that it was building and it was progressing every time. And so I think that is the best way to attract and get her attention.
Okay, so Veronica, it's no secret that you are a well-known designer and that your style is amazing. It's maximal, it's over the top, and I say that with all the love in my heart in a very good way. I have hard eyes every time I see your stuff. Okay, but for stuff like this, for the one-room challenge, for your show houses, well, especially for the one-room challenge, I guess show houses are a different animal. Do you design with the end result in mind as far as from a photography standpoint, or this could be published in House Beautiful, or is this exactly the way you would just have done your own damn house?
It's the latter. It's exactly how I would do my own house. I'm very selfish when it comes to these things. I want it to be exactly the way I want it because I don't have to worry about anybody else's taste or anybody else's opinions. And so I kind of just go for it. And, I don't necessarily think, oh, I wonder if this will photograph well. I kind of just go with my gut. And sometimes I feel like the rooms design themselves. My master bedroom was a good example of that because I just pulled some stuff from things that I had in storage and it just comes together. But it's really more for me and not feeling that restriction when I'm dealing with clients' projects.
Okay, so this leads me to my next question. When you do get clients from the one room challenge, do they want you to do something just as extravagant or just as similar? Or do you have to really still design within their parameters?
And she stole my question.
I stole her question. I did.
Well, no, actually, no. I don't think I've ever had a client ask me to duplicate anything. I think it's just the feeling and the mood and the vibe that they are drawn to. And they want some element of drama or just give me something fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I've ever had anybody ask me to design exactly what I've done before.
Okay. And do you find that the clients that you are getting from the one room challenge posts and the publicity tend to be a little bit more right up your alley and fall in line with your aesthetic? Or do you get anybody that says, I loved your bedroom, now can I have a farmhouse style?
You know what? It's funny. It's a mix. I think what my clients are now more drawn to more than anything is that they see that I take risks and they see that I can design in pretty much any style. I'm working with a client right now and they're more farmhousey and, hey, let's just do some grays. And then I have another one where we're going bold with color everywhere. So it's a mixed bag for me.
If I was redoing a room and I wanted to do bold color, and that I would definitely hire you, but I would not hire Veronica Solomon to do farmhouse. Not that I don't think you could do it, but I just think that would be wasting your talent.
Yeah, I think I love doing the colorful bold pattern.
Yeah.
That's where I shine.
I think you're like number one on her list. If she doesn't feel like doing something in her own home, you're going to probably get a call.
I
don't know if I can afford Veronica.
I don't know about a $70,000 bedroom.
It's not that big of a deal for you guys. Come on.
Oh, Veronica.
Chump change.
Listen, I want to thank you before we get into our What Up Wingnut round for the patience, because I know our audience do not know this, but this podcast has been recorded a couple hours apart thanks to our lovely Zencaster that took a crash. So Veronica, thank you so much for enduring all of our craziness here at Wingnut.
And the technical difficulties,
difficult.
If you guys notice a little bit of a change in the audio tone, we had to switch from our Zencaster app to our Zoom app. And so Veronica's
it's been a lovely day.
Very patient. Hey, it happens. Welcome to the 21st century.
It worked out in the end.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
We're all going to be assimilated by technology. That's the problem we have. All right, Veronica Solomon, I have to ask you now if you're ready for the What Up Wingnut round.
I think so.
Now it's time for What Up Wingnut.
Veronica, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be and why?
I would be a mango tree because I love mangoes. I could eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And what's your favorite variety?
In Jamaica, where I'm from, we had some really strange names for them. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if you'd recognize any of those names.
Maybe not.
Natalie's allergic to mangoes.
The outside, but I wear gloves. I peel them, and then I can eat the inside.
You ever have dehydrated mangoes? Those are amazing.
You know what? I've seen those. I've never tried it. I just love the juiciness of the real ones.
It's like candy. It's like it's so good.
Well, now I'm going to have to go try it.
You have to, yes. Run, don't walk. What would the hashtag on your tombstone be?
Queen V.
I love that. If you could have only one superpower, what would it be and why?
I think that would be to be able to fly. I don't know. I've always wanted to be able to fly. So this is just something I wish somebody would just grant me that wish.
Do you have flying dreams at all?
I do, actually.
Aren't those the best?
They're amazing, yes.
Supposedly, this is what I've read. If you have a flying dream, that means that your soul is happy and unfettered. That you're...
I love that.
All right, it does. And last but not least, please recommend a book that has had a profound effect on you, either personally or professionally.
So this one is really old. If you're going to mention it, you might have to go dig it up. It's called Beautiful Places, Spiritual Spaces, The Art of Stress-Free Interior Design. And it's by a designer. Her name is Sharon Hanby Roby. And that book has had a profound influence on me when I was just starting my career and just did not know what my purpose was. And that really helped me. So that's my favorite book of all time.
That's a terrific recommendation because our audience is interior designers of all levels, all from very, very beginning to designers that have been in the business for 30 years. And that was Beautiful Places and Spiritual Spaces by what was the author?
The author's name is Sharon Hanby Roby.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, so go check that out. And maybe you guys can be inspired to be the amazing kick-ass designer that Veronica Solomon is and be a featured designer, not once, but twice, by Better Homes and Gardens on the One Room Challenge. Veronica, thank you so much for sharing all your tips on the One Room Challenge. I feel like I might want to do it now.
Nope.
Natalie says nope, don't spend the money. Please tell the Wingnuts listening where they can follow you on your social and tell them again about your amazing Facebook group.
So my Facebook group is called What They Don't Teach You in Design School. It's an amazing place for designers to go if you're looking for resources or just to hang out with a bunch of designers and share ideas. Perfect place for you. And you can find me on Instagram, which I'm trying to get more into, at Casa Vilora, which is CasaVilora, or my website at veronicasolomon.com.
I know somebody that can help you out with that Instagram situation you got there.
Yeah, I know a couple people.
Veronica, thank you again for coming on the show, and thank you for your saintly patience with our technological difficulties. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it too.
One Room Challenge, Better Homes and Gardens.
You know, I'm sitting here listening to Veronica, and it's freaking amazing. Her room is beautiful, obviously. And
Her rooms, multiple.
Well, rooms, excuse me, multiple rooms. But I'm thinking, what room in our home could we redo on a budget?
Living room.
No, I said on a budget. The only room I can think of would be Abby's room. And then I'm like, but wait, there's a Murphy bed that's on the wall. How are we going to work around that? And then I started thinking, well, wait, window treatment. And I'm like, no, never mind. That's a bad idea.
I would want to go like something really dramatic, like dark.
I know you would.
You could put a Hail Navy in there, paint the ceiling,
I'm
get
not
a
sure she'd
chandelier.
like that.
I just know it's not going to work in her room.
It's not going to work.
However, the living room.
Well, you know what? We are in need of a new sofa for sure. And
I think the one room challenge has to be more than the sofa.
I know, but what are we going to do? Because here's our problem with the one room challenge. If we redo our living room, our children, which are our four-legged children's, have taken over, and they like to sit on the sofa and the chair.
That's why God made Krypton and Sunbrella. Okay.
Well, then we get them to sponsor. How's that?
Problem solved. Okay.
Problem solved.
Yeah, and I was thinking powder rooms and stuff, but we really just redid the whole house a couple years ago for a portfolio. So
that's kind of why I'm like,
hey, you know what we need? I just figured it out.
What?
A bigger house with more rooms. Veronica bought a new house like 2 or 3 years ago, I want to say, maybe not even that long. So she had a blank slate to work with.
Wait, I got a better idea. Aunt Susie wants to do her front parlor. Maybe we could just do it for her.
Yeah, she ain't going to want to do it the way I want to do it.
Well, this is true. It probably would not go with home. Listen, I'm just spitballing here on ideas. How about the shed? You could do the she shed.
Do a she shed.
Do a she shed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this has been a very long day. We appreciate all the patience if you have gotten thus far in the podcast for everything that's gone on and all our technical issues. Welcome to the new year, 2020.
2020.
Woo, baby.
Ooh, is Mercury still in retrograde? Okay, guys. So anyhow, be sure to follow us on social at Wingnut Social on all the social channels. If you need help with your social media marketing, Veronica Solomon, Instagram. Give us a call at 1-877-WINGNUT or send us an email to info@wingnutsocial.com. And if you have done the one room challenge and gotten clients from it, send us an email. Let us know all about it. And I think that's it for today. Nat, got anything else?
Nope, so long.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us today. Be sure to tune in next week for more business and marketing info and insightful interviews with industry experts and design superstars. Can't wait? Then head on over to wingnutsocial.com for more great content to help you get your business to the next level.
Or wherever your burning yearning is.
In your head. Okay.
All right, that was much better.
Okay. Let's see where we're at.
Go fight crime.
Veronica, thank you so much for the information that you've imparted. What now?
No, you got to ask where to follow her.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I was just making sure you're getting there. It's been a long damn day. Okay, well, if you come down, we have a mangrove grove.
A mangrove grove?
Mango grove.
Natalie, are you okay with her? You're making all kinds of biological
that wasn't
noises.
Me. It just came up. I didn't do nothing. I was just sitting.
Holy cow. All right. What a long freaking day.
Okay, and we got to pack.
Ready?
Ready.
We have to pack.
Oh, yeah.
Good boy, Mango.